everyone, it's Kate from the Fold Line. I'm back this week with the edit. This is our weekly roundup of new sewing patterns. I have got some really good things this week that have been released. I'm quite excited to talk you through them, quite a kind of different range of things. So I'm going to get started. The first one I've got is the Helens Closet Unisex Wildwood Jacket and Vest. Love this. So, PDF only, it comes in sizes 6 to 34. This is such a useful item for your wardrobe. Let me show you the line drawing so you can kind of see what is going on. So there are 3 different options in terms of the length for this jacket, and there are also 2 variations. You can either make it sleeveless or with sleeves. So it's either a like little vest kind of layering piece or a jacket, and you can have them in different lengths. There are these kind of big statement pockets, poppers down the front, and in terms of the quilting, you can kind of do whatever you'd like. You can kind of do the straight ones across, which she's done. You could do diamonds, or you could get really creative and kind of quilt however you want to, kind of do like freestyle quilting on this. So there's quite a lot of fun things that you can do. I think if you haven't done a quilted jacket before, Helen's Closet have really fantastic instructions, so you'll be very much handheld through each step of the process. And again, I think I said at the beginning, but it's unisex, so it makes it even more versatile. You can make it for members of your family, your partner, or whatever. So it's a really lovely pattern, and it's one that I think is such a classic shape that it's never ever going to not be kind of a useful item for your wardrobe. So that's the first one. The next one we've got is the Merchant and Mill Dockers Beanie. This I think is a really interesting shape, hat pattern. It's quite a nice simple project. I think you can make it in an afternoon. You can see that the crown of a hat is a 6-piece, kind of like a baseball cap. And then there is this really lovely sort of turn-up detail. The interesting thing for me is that little thing that makes it feel like a baseball cap at the back with the elastic. This is really great having a bit of elastic on a hat because it means that it is a bit more forgiving on sizes. It's PDF only this. In terms of sizing, it comes in small to an extra large. So if anyone knows what their head size is, it's small as a 57, which is a standard size. And then the large is 63, which is actually really big. And you can never tell. That's the other thing I should say, as someone who used to make hats, you can never tell how big someone's head is. It's really bizarre. Like you can never tell who's got a big head. Sometimes we'd have really kind of elegant waspy women who'd come in and their head would be size 62 or something, and then like a very a kind of big bloke would come in and he'd have like a standard head size. So I don't know why I'm saying all of this, but yes. So this is really nice. The thing you can make this, you can have this pattern lined as well if you want to. I love the idea of using different materials. So having the turn up in a different colour to the top, or having the top in an oilskin so it's waterproof, and then having fleecy on the inside. I think it's a really great pattern, and I think finding interesting accessory patterns are like a nice thing. Like they're fun, it's nice to try something new. So if you haven't made a hat before, this is definitely one to have a look at. So we've got 2 patterns from French Navy. The first one is the Belinda button-up shirt. This is a PDF only and comes in sizes UK 6 to 34. I really like this pattern actually. I thought it was really clever, and I haven't seen a pattern like this where you get these 2 options. So to me, it's a quite slightly oversized shirt, relaxed fit, buttons down the front, all the things that you'd expect. The really nice detail for me is there is an option to add a frill at the around the collar, which I think is really makes it feel totally different and really quite feminine. And I really like that sort of feminine feel, but with a slightly boxier, looser fit. I think it's really nice. They just feel totally different, and they're actually the same pattern. The classic kind of shirt pattern has got a pocket, and there's options as well with the ruffle to add a ruffle at the cuff as well, which I think was a really cute detail, and I haven't seen that on a shirt before. But obviously you can leave it off if you don't want to. The nice thing about this sort of pattern is the kind of world's voice. You can pick and choose what you do. So that's the first one from French Navy. The second one is a t-shirt pattern that is really interesting, which is something that you don't often get to say. So it's the Tarifa tee from French Navy, again PDF only. It comes in sizes UK 6 to 34. So I'm going to show you a picture of the t-shirt, and then I'm going to show you the line drawing because I feel like you need to see this to see what's going on. So there are two variations which are quite similar. It's just the sleeve length, so you can either make this long sleeved or short sleeved, but it's got this really interesting seam detail. So it's kind of almost got a kind of bib at the front, and then there's a seam that kind of goes underneath the arm. It makes it look really interesting. I think you could do really fun play on stripes. You could have the stripes going in a different direction on the sleeve. It would make it look really different. You could colour block this. It's quite unusual to see what is a very standard t-shirt done differently, and I really like the shape of it. It's quite boxy and relaxed, which I love. And I just think it's a really good one. So if you're thinking t-shirt but you want to actually do something a bit more fun, because I find making sewing basics quite boring, this one is definitely got a bit more jazz to it. So next up, we've got the Atelier Sacit Berger gilet. This comes in sizes UK 4 to 24. This is a really useful layering piece. I think it's so good. So they say that there are 16 different variations that you can make with this in terms of all the variations that there are. And I'll show you the kind of line drawing with all 4 of them so you can see what's going on. So it's a very simple vest shape. There are no fastenings. There is a kind of big statement pocket detail if you'd like. You can leave that off. You can cut the bottom of the vest either with a curve or cut straight. And there's this quite interesting detail where you can add these little cap sleeves. I think it's a very useful item in terms of layering. The thing that I thought was really interesting about this, so I will show you the picture and you can see it made in this beautiful kind of like a fleecy shearling fabric, which feels like really nice. The thing that I thought was a really interesting one is the one that's made in a jacquard, which I think completely changes it. And when you see that, you're like, oh my God, that would look so nice as a kind of going out, like more evening, kind of bit smarter jacket that you wear over a polo neck. And I really love that with designers where they show you it in different fabrics, and I would never think to make it in something like that, but I think it works really, really well. So there's quite a lot of things that you could actually do with a very simple pattern. And I like the idea that it says that you could use up some of your like leftover fabrics, because actually the panels are quite small. So you wouldn't use a lot of fabric. So next we have got Folkwear Cynthia's Cookie Apron. I loved this pattern and it just felt really sweet. So it's from Folkwear, who specialise in vintage patterns, and this one seems quite kind of close to their heart. So this apron design was one Cynthia's, a long-time Folkwear fan and employee, made from an apron her grandmother made and wore. The pattern, which was originally offered in 1900 Women's Magazine, and they've then taken it and made it into a kind of modern pattern. It's PDF only. It comes in sizes UK 4 to 26. And I really love the shape of it. If we show you the line drawing, you can see. So it's got these huge, big pockets on the front. It's got that sort of turn down, which is really classic kind of 50s feel. And then there's a pocket on the front as well. But it's quite a useful item. You could use this if you... as like a workwear kind of apron as well. Like if you're a painter, you can fit all your paintbrushes or like bits in your pockets. So I thought it was quite a useful item for people's wardrobes. I know some people actually like to wear aprons when they sew so they don't get all the threads over their clothing. And it's just a really nice one with a bit of a vintage nod, which I always really like. So last but not least, we've got the Maison Fove Tribeca dress and blouse. This comes in sizes UK 6 to 22. It's PDF only. I really like this. I think it's really interesting. We haven't seen anything like this. So dress and a blouse. If I show the line drawing, you can see what is going on here. So there are two variations with the top. They've got this really lovely pin tuck detail that goes all the way down the middle of the kind of front of the top and then up around the sleeves, which I think is really interesting. The thing about it that I really liked, the dress version of this has got a dropped waist and a gathered skirt. Now I did see on the high street, because I have got ahead of myself with the spring sort of trends, and I did see quite a few dropped waist items. So this also would be quite on trend for this summer. But yes, there are different variations. So you can add pin tucks, you cannot, buttons down the front, and then they're a really sweet little cuffed sleeve. But I thought this was quite a useful item for your wardrobe, and it's a really nice blouse shape. So definitely worth checking out if you're thinking you need a new spring blouse. So that's it for me. I hope that was helpful and you found something to inspire you this Sunday, and I will be back next week with another video. Bye!